All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Big Screen Small Talk. I'm Anthony Matola.
I'm Ryan Waltz.
And in this episode, we are going to hit our best of 2014. Top whatever. I don't, there's no order. I know mine is not really in any kind of order. It's the movies
Yeah, and
that...
I realized in the last episode, we started at the worst movie and went to the least worst movie. We should probably start at the bottom of the list and go to the top.
We could do that this time. I'm down for that.
It's a good order. It's a good way to go.
What do you have as number 5 then?
Oh my god. Okay, this list is not official. Oh my god. You know what?
There's a lot of movies.
Number
came out
5,
this year.
I'm just going to tell you right now. Number 5 is John Wick.
I didn't see that. I was really interested in that. Good for Keanu.
It's a really good movie. You'll love it.
Yeah, it looks like it's something that's like up my alley.
They create, you know how Pacific Rim, did you watch Pacific Rim?
Yeah, I love Pacific Rim.
Do you know how they did a really good job of creating like a world? Like
Yeah.
it felt like a lived-in world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's how John Wick feels.
Because Guillermo del Toro is a genius.
John Wick felt like they created this world of assassins
Mm-hmm.
and like underground like criminals that just felt really cool. And like they had a hotel where assassins could stay in, but all the assassins knew the rules of the hotel, that nothing could take place inside the hotel. It was like safe ground. And like they kind of implied that every time you kill somebody, you get like this piece of gold. And that's how assassins do business, with these pieces of gold.
Okay.
So like every person, like the more gold you have, the more people you've killed.
And the better killer you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like they kind of implied that it created this really cool world. And now it's a really fun movie. Action-wise, just John Wick just fucks people up. The story of the movie,
it?
I couldn't even tell you. I should have
Was
looked that
it
up.
some like Chinese guy, a Japanese guy?
I couldn't tell you his authors. I don't want to be racist and say that a Chinese guy directed the action movie
But probably did.
with Kung Fu. But the movie, it's about this guy who is an assassin who decides to leave the business because he fell in love with a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that, he had to... the crime boss gave him this impossible task to do, and he did it, and he got his freedom.
Oh, I'm sure they weren't happy about that.
Well, his wife then got cancer and died.
It's awful.
Okay. Yeah. And it happens, it's like Up. It happens right at the beginning. They tell you about this great story, and you're like, oh, terrible. But she, from beyond the grave, has a dog delivered to him, a puppy dog,
Okay.
and says, like, you know, you're going
The
to...
dog says?
No. The dog comes with a note that says, you know, you're going to grieve after me, but hopefully taking care of this dog will give you some help with that.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And then he goes to get gas one day, and some crime boss, the son of the crime boss, sees him, doesn't know who he is, wants his car. He has this really sweet muscle car. And John Wick tells him, like, you know, you can't have it. But, like, there's some words exchanged because the guy calls him something in Russian because he doesn't think John Wick can speak it.
Mm-hmm.
And John Wick does. So there's, like, a back and forth.
Yeah.
So the guy figures out where John Wick lives, comes, kills his dog, and steals his car.
Okay. Oh.
And John Wick goes to the
Do you
crime.
see them kill the dog? I don't like... Oh.
He picks... Yeah, I know. But, I mean, as a dog lover, it gives you more... You're going to have more in stock in the film
Yeah.
because of it.
I hate that.
Yeah. But... So he calls the crime boss and says, either you give me your son and I will kill him, or I will go through any means necessary to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy goes, look, you can't kill my son. So the entire movie is John Wick just killing hundreds of people to get to this one kid.
That sounds... I wanted to see it when I saw the trailers and stuff. I was like, I'm in for this. I don't go to the movies. I don't go to the theater a lot. I enjoy watching
I think
stuff
it
at
comes
home.
out on DVD this week or next week.
I know there's a lot of stuff like coming out really, really soon. Like Gone Girl's coming out, and I've yet to see that. And
John Wick comes out very soon, and it's such a fun movie. That's the best way I can describe it. It's an entertaining movie. I mean, obviously it starts off pretty dark,
yeah,
but
it's a good. It sounds like
Once
it's
you-
a good action.
once
flick.
you get into the action, and action is always better when you have investment into the characters.
yeah,
and in John Wick you do, and it's so good. People give me shit for it, but
I gotta check that out. I wanted to see
top
that
movies, my top movies. I think John Wick deserves it for what it was. It
for being so unexpected.
Yeah. For being so unexpected.
My I guess my number 5, or the first one that I'm gonna say here on my list, is Snowpiercer.
Okay. Really? I haven't watched it. I've heard great things.
Yeah, I was surprisingly. We were talking about this before. I spend, I think, 90% of my time on Netflix looking for something to watch rather than actually watching something. And this is one of those days where I was just on, and I said, I'm going to watch something on my list. I'm not even going to bother looking. I'm going to watch something on my list. And I'd thrown it on when it had first came up, and I watched it, and I sat there from start to finish. I watched the whole fucking movie. It was really good. Chris Evans is a bona fide actor in my mind. I wasn't a fan of him when he first got announced as Captain America. Yeah, I didn't like that. And then he was in a couple of those another teen movie or something.
Hold on. Not Another Teen Movie is one of the best comedies of all time.
Yeah, that was an unexpectedly funny movie. But I mean, it's like whatever. He's a throwaway guy. I thought he was that, like, he got lumped into that that heartthrob, good looking type of deal.
That's what made him come out of it, because that movie is such.
What?
Making fun of the archetypes?
Yeah, but he was still the archetype. There's a movie called Puncture that he was really, really good in.
Did you see him in Sunshine?
No.
Sunshine is a sci-fi movie about this group of people who are going to reignite the sun because it's dying.
Really?
Mm-hmm. A really good movie. It has the guy from 28 Days Later. I can never remember his name. He played Scarecrow.
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, he's the main guy.
Okay, I like him.
It's a great movie. You'll love it.
Huh. Well, Snowpiercer is kind of like it's a little similar. They were shooting these bombs, these missiles into the Earth, ended up killing the sun, and the whole world is covered in snow. It's totally frozen. It's like another ice age, but the people who survived are all on this train. And they keep talking about this. I know the actor's name, but I can't remember the name of the character who built this railroad around the world. And they're all on this train. Everyone who survived is on this train, but they're all broken down into like sects. There's the rich people, the middle class, and Chris Evans is a part of the back of the train. The people that don't get that don't have anything. They're like the poor, the homeless, or whatever, and they give them this. Like this gelatin something. It's like their sustenance. It's their food, and the whole movie it's basically about an uprising. They want to get from the back of the train to the front of the train. The guy who I want to say was either in Itchy the Killer or what's that other movie? They just made the remake, Old Boy. The original guy.
Wasn't he in Lucy too this year?
Yeah, yes, it is the same guy. Now that I'm thinking of it, I want to see Lucy. I didn't see that yet. I was really looking forward to that movie. But it surprised me. It really blew. I was very, very surprised at how into this movie, because it's a cool sci-fi, actiony movie. There's a lot of depth to it. It's a lot more serious than I thought. It's an R-rated movie. It was one of those movies where I was like, I wonder if this is Hunger Games-y, where it's like it's made for the preteens, but it wasn't. It was really, really good, really surprisingly good. Definitely worth multiple viewings in my mind, and it was for the fact that I was surprised at how much I find myself telling people about that movie a lot. So yeah, the bottom one on my list would be Snowpiercer.
Okay, so that I'll probably let's see. What can I do? I'm supposed to go see a double feature tomorrow of Big Eyes and Inherent Vice.
I want to see that too.
But you gave me 2 movies to watch today: Maze Runner and Snowpiercer.
Yeah, Maze Runner is out.
Yeah, I know.
It might be in the Redbox.
Snowpiercer's on Netflix.
Snowpiercer is on Netflix, and the Maze Runner might be in the Redbox, or it's coming soon.
No, it should be. It's been out for a while. Okay, so that was your number 5.
That was my number 5.
I'm gonna switch them. I have it written down here, but now as I'm looking at it, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm gonna go with what I want here. Number 5, I'm gonna go with Nightcrawler.
Oh, I'm dying to see that movie.
You want to talk about a clinic? Jake Gyllenhaal.
He's becoming one of my go-to guys, and I wasn't sold on him when he first hit the scene.
In Prisoners?
Prisoners is a really good movie.
Prisoners is incredible. That probably should have been on my list, actually. That's an incredible movie.
Was that last year?
I think it might have been 2013.
I feel like I watched that movie and it was cold. And it's not cold out. It's cold out now.
I think it might have been 2013 now that I think about it.
That
like
was really
late
good.
2013. But that's... Anyways, back to Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler kind of is the story of a pathological liar who's trying to work his way up into the world, even though he's a lower class guy. And one night he is out and he sees a camera guy covering an accident. And he talks about how much money he gets paid for filming this accident.
Okay.
And then he kind of wants to get into that bracket. But he
a
doesn't really know anything about it, so he's just like lying his way.
He's like a videographer, or he's like a crime scene photographer?
Crime scene videographer. Okay. So he's kind of lying his way into this position of getting news networks footage. That's all I'm really going to tell you. I mean, there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
He's a crazy character. Like he reminds me of Christian Bale, American Psycho.
Where he's just the whole movie, he's not anything of what he seems he is. It's like he's almost a character of himself.
Yeah. He's putting on this facade for everyone else, but like you as the audience knows something else isn't right.
Yeah. And you're just waiting for the
you're just waiting for shit to come unhinged.
The big reveal, yeah.
So that's how Nightcrawler is. I don't want to go into it too much because you haven't seen it. If it was just our viewers, I'd say spoiler alert and move on with it, but...
And it's coming out soon. I know, like you were saying, there's a lot of movies that are like,
coming out on DVD.
They're coming. My number 4 is, we just spoke about, The Maze Runner.
Okay. Wow.
I didn't
think it'd be on your top list.
Yeah, and it's, again, I think it's because I was so surprised and blown away by it. Like, it's a slow burn.
I wanted to see it. I really did.
It's a slow burn.
But then I thought it was going to be like a tween Hunger Games
That's
movie.
exactly what I thought. And I kept saying, we had a bootleg copy. And we had it for like almost a month. We still actually have it at the house. I still have to return it. And it just was one of those movies, like when I got it, I was like, oh, we got to watch it. And then like a couple days went by and it was like, oh, you want to watch a movie? Let's watch The Maze Runner. Let's go to the Redbox. Let's watch something on Netflix. And it just kept on getting pushed back. And Kristen was actually like, we have to watch this movie because we have to return it. And we put it on. And like I said, it's a slow burn. The first like half hour, you're just kind of figuring out what's going on. Where are they? You know, and then as the story starts going, and you start seeing what the maze is and what this ecosystem, I guess, maybe that's a bad way of describing, but they put them in this one area. They're in the area, and they're surrounded by the maze. You know what I mean? So and it's all boys. It's like 30 boys, and every month another one comes up. The movie opens up with the lead character like on this freight elevator, and it opens up and it's Sonny, and the kid from We're the Millers helps him up, the funny looking kid. And he's kind of like the badass, the villain in the movie, and it's really good. It's like a raw Hunger Games. You know what I mean? It's like
raw,
a hard.
So it's an edgier.
Yeah, like a hard PG-13. Like there's some blood. There's some stuff that I wasn't expecting to see in a movie filled with teenagers. Twins. Yeah, you know, I was really surprised, really to the point that I want to go get the book series and start reading it.
I heard it's good.
I didn't realize the whole movie.
Actually, I had a discussion with someone last night about this movie.
Oh, really?
How she was reading the books because of the movie, and they are extremely good. And apparently, it's a slow. I mean, it's they're not long books. Apparently,
the easy reads. That's cool.
Like, I want to say there was 67 chapters, but they're all like 10 pages.
Well, did you read the Hunger Games? Because they're not.
Yeah, I read
They're not very long either.
No. I'm a slow reader. It takes me fucking forever.
It's certain things I can blow through. Like I actually just got the compendiums. Kristen got me both 1 and 2 for anniversary and for Christmas, and I'm like,
let me tell you about the books. Oh my god.
What? What's happening?
It's getting so good.
It's been good.
I know, but no, hold on. Sorry, we're gonna have to take a sidetrack real quick.
Tiny talks.
Tiny talks. The Walking Dead comics are getting so good right now. They recently had a section called All Out War where they were releasing 2 comics a month.
Wow.
And it kind of got stale for me. Although I loved the characters, it kind of just like it got repetitive.
I'm dying to know who's still around.
Now after All Out War, they jumped a year into the future. They just skipped a year.
Okay.
And it is so fucking good. Every time I get an issue, I'm excited to get it. I grab it, and I come home, and I sit it there, and this is my stack of comics I have to read. And it just sits there, and I keep thinking to myself, like, it's not going to be as good as the last issue. Let me just read it. And every time, I'm like, oh, my God, it's so fucking good.
I forgot how good...
I want to reread
I'm really starting to hate the fucking series.
I hate the series. I do.
I didn't like the first 3 episodes of last season.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, we're back. I'm like, okay, this is really good. And then nothing fucking happened again.
When Beth hit?
Yeah. Who gives... I'm so tired. Everyone's like, oh my God, Beth died. I'm like, thank God she died. If I had to hear that fucking girl sing another goddamn song, man, I would have fucking ripped my ears off.
I know.
I couldn't fucking take it. And that last shot.
Hold on. I haven't seen
you haven't seen it yet?
No.
Did I spoil the whole Beth thing? Or
no, I spoiled it for you.
Yeah, AMC
remember?
fucking spoiled.
Yeah, who posts that shit?
Why have you
the night of the episode?
Who immediately following the episode? You didn't see it?
No, I fucking after that. I watched the Beth episode, and then
the very final shot. There's nothing. It wouldn't be spoiling any. You know about Beth.
Oh yeah, is that what happened?
Daryl walks out of the hospital with her.
Hold on, they're in the hospital for the next 5 episodes.
The hospital is done now.
I mean, you see her in the hospital episode 4 or 3.
4.
Okay.
I think she was I think her episode was the.
So for the next 4 episodes,
she's in the hospital.
They're still in the hospital.
Well, Carol gets there.
I saw that.
Yeah, did you see how Carol got there?
They just show her wheeling.
Well, they showed how the next episode was her and Daryl, and then they showed how she ended up getting there. So it's her and Daryl, and Rick ended up getting there, and so she's dead. Daryl's walking out with her dead body, and it looked so fucking staged. It looked like a fucking poster for like the new season of The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Because they did a slow fucking pan out,
mm-hmm.
and he's holding her, and she's like limp in his arms, and it's from behind. So you see Glenn and Maggie, and Maggie's fucking screaming, and you see this one and that one and the other one, and they were all like strategically placed in these spots, and I'm like, this is dumb. This is not what the show is supposed to be. It's not an artsy. It's not what the heart of the book is anyway. And going back and reading the book, I'm blown away by how good it was. And I can't remember how much stuff I can't believe how much stuff I had forgotten. You know,
yeah.
And characters and it's. Yeah. I just got to the prison. In the books where I'm at right now.
To be fair, there's only 2 volumes before you hit the prison, and then there's 6 in the prison.
Really?
You don't leave the prison for the first compendium.
I remember the prison was very, very long. Yeah, well, that's when she gave me the second one. I'm looking through it, and I'm like, I don't remember. This whole thing is going to be like fucking brand new to me. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And I know they got to be coming close to a third compendium. It's got to be getting.
They're on volume 19 right now. So.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Okay, because the compendium. I think I'm up. The compendiums go to like 98 or something.
Volumes.
Of what? The trade paperbacks?
Yeah. There's 8 volumes in the first one, and there's 8 volumes in the second one. So 16. So you need 17, 18, 19, and then whatever issues.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe they're a little further off than I thought they were then.
They'll need, you got 3 more years before there's a compendium.
Oh, awesome.
Because they only put 12 issues out a year, unless they do the double time issues.
But, yeah, The Maze Runner was number 4 on my list. Really surprising how much I enjoyed that movie, and I'm looking forward to. And it's one of those things where once you realize something's up, you're going, well, what is it? What's the reason? What's going?
Fucking see this. I'm gonna watch this.
And then when they reveal it to you, it's kind of like nothing. What of all the options that you had come up with in your head, it's nothing like that. And it's like, wow, that's really fucked up. And I can't wait I'm really looking forward to the next one.
I don't know if it's worth cleaning off my car to go buy this movie.
If it's not snowing anymore outside, I'd say go get it. It's really, really good. I would be surprised if you didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Maze Runner is my number 4. Again, it's a good movie. Because I'm gonna say I was surprised by it.
Yeah.
I don't want that to detract anybody from going to check it out or whatever. It's a really, really good movie, and I think it needs to be seen. Everybody needs to see it.
Okay, yeah. So it's not just that it was such a low expectation film, because that's kind of how I feel about John Wick.
I don't know if I had expectations going in. I expected it to be like a Hunger Games movie, and I liked the Hunger Games, so I was like, okay, this could. but I knew nothing about it. And then when I watched it, I was like, holy shit, this was whatever I could have possibly thought about it. Like, I kind of liked it a little bit better than The Hunger Games.
Yeah? Because it's more adult. I mean, well, you said it's edgier.
Yeah, I mean, the way the movie was, I don't know how the books are, because I thought The Hunger Games, some of the stuff in the books were a little on the edgy side.
That's true.
And it's tamed down a little bit in the movies. I enjoy those movies, though. I enjoyed the first one. I rewatched the second one not too long ago on Netflix, and
the second book and the second movie
is the best.
Great.
Yeah, I thought the second book
I don't know
was the
how
best one.
or why they broke the third one up into 2 movies.
Money. That's all it is money.
There's not enough story in the third book to do 2 movies.
There's not enough. You're gonna be angry with one of the other movies but there's not enough story in The Hobbit to do fucking 3-hour movies.
We're gonna have to have a serious talk.
I love the Hobbit movies.
Okay. Just stop. just stop. We can't be friends.
You know.
So wait, I mean, are we moving through this pretty quick?
We're on number 3 already.
Yeah, shit.
We got stuff to look forward to in 2015 as well.
Oh, that's true. Okay, I'm moving my list all fucking around. So my first one was John Wick, then Nightcrawler, and then I'm gonna do number 3 was Birdman.
I am dying to see that movie too, man.
Well, we were talking about, again, just like Jake Gyllenhaal, actors running clinics. Michael Keaton.
I love Michael Keaton.
Just did the fuck out of that movie. I mean, him and also Edward Norton.
I didn't realize he was in that movie until like later after the promotion.
About halfway through the movie, he just kind of like disappears. They just get rid of his character.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really like they build him up a little bit and then he's gone. But it's just him, and you don't know if he's crazy. He's like talking to himself. He has these powers.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know if he's actually like a real superhero and he's dealing with like his fading stardom, and nobody likes his show.
Well, you were saying he's like almost like Adam West as Batman, kind of, right? And
no, he's himself.
But I'm saying, but he portrayed a superhero on the television show.
No, the story of the movie is he played the first superhero in like a movie, basically Batman.
Okay.
Basically, Michael Keaton played Batman, and now he's no longer Batman, and he's trying to reclaim his status as a good actor by doing a play.
Okay.
But they don't call it Batman; they call it Birdman.
Is the Birdman? The play he's doing is Birdman?
No, the play.
Birdman was the character.
Birdman was the character.
Is somebody else now taking over as Birdman?
No, they don't. They don't go into that.
Okay.
But he's now trying to do an adaptation of a book. See, that confused me too, because I thought he was making a Birdman play.
Yeah.
But he's doing an adaptation of a book of a writer who gave him a compliment a long time ago.
Okay.
And like his daughter's his assistant, but she's a drug addict. So he's trying to get her clean while trying to put on this play that's going to save his career. But she keeps like reminding him that no one gives a shit about him because no one remembers him. And like, it's good. It's really good.
I gotta check that out.
Definitely a character piece. Like,
I'm dying to see it. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I know he's nominated for a Golden Globe.
All drums.
Really?
Yeah, and the way it's shot to look like one continuous piece.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like, he's outside and he's pissed off, so he storms off. He goes around a corner, but there's a door there, and then he walks through the door, and then he's in his office.
So it's almost like a play then, almost like set pieces are set up.
Yeah, I guess now I didn't put that together, but yeah, it's kind of like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I gotta check it out. I'm dying to. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I mean, I know we spoke on the phone a couple weeks ago, and you were thinking
if it wasn't for another, I don't think he should win the Oscar for it. Michael Keaton. The 15th they're announcing the Oscar nominees.
Well, the Golden Globes are next week.
Yeah, I don't think he should win. I'll tell you who I think should win. Or maybe we'll do an episode.
I think you told me last night who you thought should win after we were talking about one of those movies.
But yeah, he did a really great job.
I'm going to reserve my picks until I see some more of the movies. We should do that for the Oscars. That would be cool if we do a live Oscar show.
Oh, yeah? Watching the Oscar?
Yeah. We get a black tie affair. We'll get all dressed up. I'm
coming in a tuxedo T-shirt.
Because you want to show that you're classy, but you still like to party.
Yeah.
My number 3, and you're going to hate it. and I really could give two shits. It's The Hobbit: The Battle of the Five Armies.
It can't be that good.
It was excellent. It was and maybe, and I'm big enough to admit this. I'm a realist. Maybe it was because there's sentimental reasons. I love those movies and I love those characters, and it was because it's it. This is it. There's no more.
I will admit,
we're not going back to Middle Earth.
As someone who is not a big fan of the films, now again, like I said in the last episode, I appreciate them for what they are. It doesn't mean I have to be a fan of the story.
You don't like them across the board.
I have problems with them. And again, it's not a directorial thing.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just,
they're good movies.
I don't
not
want
your
people.
Cup of tea.
Yeah, it's people give me shit because I don't like them. It is what it is. When I saw hashtag one last time, even I got a little choked up.
Yeah,
I was like, "Fuck!" It really is that's it.
It was
until they reboot it. That is it.
No. Nobody should touch.
It'll
those.
happen.
I know, but nobody should touch those movies, man. There's no one could do it the way Peter Jackson did it. I was stoked when I heard that Guillermo del Toro was going to do it, and then. But there was a piece of me that was like, you know what? I would love to see this guy finish what he started. And then once I found out that he dropped out to do Pacific Rim, and I was like, well, nobody else could do it. It was a really fitting farewell to those characters, to that world. It was really good. I cried like twice in the movie because it was emotional. It's hard. And we walked out. When we walked out, I said, I wasn't prepared for it to be as heavy as it was, and I wasn't prepared. I think maybe myself as to be as sentimental as I thought I was going to be when we walked out of it. But I really loved it. I love those 6 movies they're some of the best movies that I've ever seen. I really, really enjoy that series as a whole. And then none of them are weak. They all flow together really well as one big story, and it was good. This one, the Five Armies starts off immediately after the Desolation of Smaug. And, I don't know if you're going to watch them. I don't want to ruin anything for you or for anybody else. Two. They're relatively, that's relatively new, that movie. It still just came out a couple weeks ago. But it starts off there, and and it didn't, for a 3-hour movie, we were talking about and complaining about in the last show that we did with the bottom 5, for a 3-hour movie or 2.5 hour movie, it didn't feel like 2.5 hours. It flowed through as a
long movie should.
Yeah. There were no lulls. There was no nothing. You know what I mean? There were some slow parts where there weren't any battles. That battle sequence at the end, not as good as the Battle of Helm's Deep, but really fucking good and really fucking long. 45-minute plus, I believe.
What I read was allegedly in The Hobbit there was no battle sequence at the end.
Yeah, from things I haven't read The Hobbit the book. I only read the first Lord of the Rings book too. Nothing against Tolkien, just not my cup of tea as an author. He's very, very descriptive. I give him a lot of credit for creating a fucking world. Like, he created a whole world with languages, and it's incredible. But I heard that but you have to. It's a couple 100-page book. It's not a very long book, and he turned them into 3. Like, pushing the first 2 movies were pushing 3 hours. This last one was the Five Armies was, I think, the shortest of the 6, 2 hours and 24 minutes, and there was not one wasted frame of film in my mind. I was really, it was very emotional. Like I said, it was a very, very good, nice little wrap up for that whole series, and I really, really enjoyed it enough to put it on my list.
The only time I cried in a movie for sentimental reasons was when I was really young. I want to say I was like 16 or 17. Well, I'm really young, but it's getting there now. 16 or 17, and Land of the Dead was coming out, and I was just so into Romero and zombies at that time. And I had been looking forward to that movie for over a year. And I remember getting into the theater, sitting down, and like when I saw the opening, like the screen and like the word, like I'm getting teary up just thinking about it. Like,
was that your first Romero big screen experience?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine
too.
Before that,
it was an event.
89 was when.
Well, I know sometimes they show like Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead like at a theater or something, like one night only. I don't know if you had gone and seen that.
No, that was my first experience, and I stand by Land of the Dead. Just as a side note,
I like that movie. I have nothing against it. It's better than the other 2 pieces of shit that he came out with. The Diary of the Dead.
I stand by Diary too. Survival, you say what you want.
What?
I stand by Land and Diary.
Diary was the kids, right? It was the one that was filmed like.
It was POV.
Yeah. That other one is awful. The
Survival with like the horses or zombies.
The Hatfields and the McCoys and shit. That was horrible.
Give George a break.
I like George Romero. I got nothing against him. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. That Survival of the Dead is a piece of shit. That's a bad movie.
I own it. I watched it one time, and that was my last attempt. Him and his son now are doing a. Did I show you that Night of the Living Dead Origins?
Yeah, you were telling. I think you might.
Or no, it's just called Origins.
You might have posted it on my Facebook page.
Yeah, it's just called Origins. They started a Kickstarter campaign to get money to raise money for a movie called Origins. It was going to be a prequel to Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
That was directed and co-directed. So his son was basically going to direct and George was going to co-direct it.
Basically be like a supervisor.
I think he was just putting his name on it to help his kid.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I got nothing wrong
if Will
with
Smith can do it, George Romero can do it.
There's nothing wrong with that. My dad's a famous. I mean, look at the yoga hosers. Harley Quinn, there she goes. So what's
that was
next
my side note. Yeah.
What's next on your list?
My number 2. I just watched it this morning again. It's Guardians of the Galaxy.
It was great.
It's a fantastic movie.
Guardians is number 1 on my list.
Oh, is it number 1 on your list?
Number 1 on my list.
Okay, so that means we both have one more left.
Yeah.
We
never really gave a review of Guardians.
No, but I did go back and rewatch our trailer.
Yeah, I watched it the other day too.
And it's really cool to when they show Nowhere in the trailer, we're like, what the fuck is that?
Was that another planet? I think I said, is that another planet? What is that?
When Guardians of the Galaxy was first announced for the Marvel MCU, no one even knew what it was.
I'd never heard.
And they're like Talking
I'm not a big
Raccoon
comic guy either.
Yeah, I was getting into comics then.
I didn't see the whole Talking Raccoon and Talking Tree. I was like, whatever. It's a fucking comic book. Like I wouldn't expect anything less.
And then about a year before it came out, Marvel released a new series. And I know I gave you some of the issues to read.
Very good.
Yeah, so
very good.
So by the time the movie came out, I was invested in those characters, and I was like, "Don't you fuck this up!" I was like, "Don't you fuck this up!" I had my idea of what Rocket was supposed to do, what Groot. I had those characters in my head. They even in that 1 year, they were sacred to me after that.
A major kudos to James Gunn. Really, really put together an excellent cast, and really kind of like a fucking mishmash. Unproven Chris Pratt, unproven Dave Bautista, only the voice of Bradley Cooper, who's probably the biggest star in that movie, and you'd never see him.
Yeah, it's weird. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, how did they not get Bradley Cooper to play Star-Lord?
Yeah, but he wouldn't have worked. Chris Pratt is from now until forever is Star-Lord.
He's the Robert Downey of Star-Lord.
Uh-huh. And you could put somebody else in the Iron Man suit. Robert Downey Jr. is Tony
everyone
Stark.
knows Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man.
Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. He's not, there's nobody else. And same thing, I'm worried about the whole Chris Evans thing because I know that's coming to an end. And unfortunately, I feel it's coming a lot sooner. But I don't think he can be replaced.
Did you read I can't remember if it's James Gunn quote or a Chris Pratt quote. But he said, all the rules said you don't do a movie with a talking tree. All the movies, or all the rules said you don't do a movie with a talking raccoon. Oh, no, because it was James Gunn. Because he said, all the rules say you don't do a movie starring Chris Pratt or the fat guy from Parks and Rec. Because he didn't want him.
Who did he want initially?
I don't know who he wanted, but he did not. He specifically said no to Chris Pratt.
Really?
And then
I didn't know.
think somebody went behind his back and did a test footage. And he was like, "Well, fuck if it's not him." Like
he was perfect.
And you know what? To be a big enough man to be like, "I was wrong. You did a really good job."
Yeah.
Because if I was in his place, I'd be like, "Nope, fuck. I still don't like you."
Yeah, you're not doing it. Sorry.
I said no.
And that's what it's final. That is final.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm the director.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in charge. Fuck Marvel. Fuck you, Kevin Feige.
I decide things like this. But okay. Now, as much as I love the movie, the soundtrack is incredible.
Yeah.
The soundtrack made the film.
Everything about the movie is fun.
I love how it gave this kind of retro feel to a futuristic movie. You know? That,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it was just the music, but everything kind of has a retro feel to it.
Oh, yeah.
Even visually.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I will say that bugs the shit out of me the first time I saw it, the second time I saw it, and the third time I saw it. He calls Ronan a turd blossom. And he says, "Don't you know, bitch, we're the Guardians of the Galaxy." Like, why?
Because,
I mean,
you gotta. I mean, it didn't bother you that much. It looks like it does, yeah.
Yeah, it bothers me that fucking much.
Ryan just turned his back to the camera, to the microphone. He's done.
It bothered me. The turd blossom especially bothers me. Like, you could, of all the phrases in all the galaxies.
Ronan has no, we don't even know if Ronan shits. You know, he's a different race. They may not duty.
And the whole movie, I was listening for metaphors that Dave Bautista shouldn't have gotten. And just thinking of things. Like at the end, he's like, we're going to show Ronan that we give a shit or something like that. And I pictured Batista going to the back of the ship, taking a shit.
Coming out.
And he's like, "I'm ready to give Ronan a shit.
I have this gift of feces for Ronan."
Yeah.
He was excellent in that movie. Absolutely great. The reflexes line is still makes me laugh every time I catch it. So serious.
He's like, "What's up with the talking to the thesaurus over here?" "Don't call me a thesaurus." He's so serious.
And Rocket was the heart of that movie.
I didn't realize till today how much they actually like pushed him like as a lead. You know?
Oh yeah, he was, to me, he was the second lead right behind
Gamora.
No, behind Star-Lord, behind Chris Pratt. He was.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I mean he was the driving force of the movie, and he was fucking funny as shit.
I love the scene where he adjusts his pants. Just like,
the first scene when Groot's drinking. I told you not to drink the water. Why are you lying to me? I'm looking right at you.
Oh, the line I never caught before today was he goes, "Quick, grab him," and he puts it over her, and he goes, "Come on, man, learn genders."
And I need that guy's eye. You don't need his eye. No, I do. It's very important. So good. You really got his leg.
When I saw that in theaters with 3 friends, and it was packed. I think it was opening night. Packed. And just the laughter. I don't think I've ever been in a theater that laughed that hard.
I saw that twice in the theater, actually.
Yeah?
I went with my uncle on opening night at Penn Cinema, and then Kristen was in Pittsburgh or something. She was taking a class, and when she got back, like the day she got back, I was like, you have to go see this movie. And we went and saw it again, and I just recently bought it a couple weeks ago, and I mean, I
went out the day it came out.
And I've watched it like 3 or 4 times since I bought it. It's just an old school movie. It's fun.
Yeah, you said earlier, it kind of reminds you of like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I mean that's
like a fun action adventure, like an adventure. It's an adventure movie.
Exactly, and it's a fun adventure movie. That scene with him dancing in that cave, first viewing, seeing it opening night. The first thing that came to mind was Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm like, this could be the new Indiana Jones. You said that he was up for the role if they were ever going to do it.
Him or Bradley Cooper.
I'm in for either of them. I am in for either. The American Sniper looks fucking amazing, by the way. But I'm in for either of them. Chris Pratt is a bona fide movie star now, and that movie, just everything about that movie. It's Marvel's best movie, in my personal opinion. I thought The Winter Soldier was, after I saw that the first time, because
that's fair. If I think Guardian, because I stood by Captain America 2 was the best Marvel movie when that came out. And then Guardians came out. And if I think Guardians is better than that, then I guess, I have to say Guardians is the best.
Everything that made... It's because it's weird, because everything I complain about the Marvel movies, there's too much comedy, there's too much this. That Guardians had it in like fucking boatloads.
Yeah.
But it was necessary. It fit those characters.
That aesthetic of the film. Like that was what that group was.
Yeah. It was a ragtag bunch of fucking a-holes.
Yeah.
As that guy. But everything was fucking great. I cannot wait for another one. I cannot wait for the second one.
2018.
Yeah.
Or 17.
3 more years. It's ridiculous. Thank God they're coming out with like 3 movies a year now.
I hope I'm alive.
Because that's all. I feel like that's all I go to the movies for anymore is these fucking superhero movies. There's nothing worth going to see.
But yeah, everything else I go to see is a gamble.
Yeah.
And again, I saw Iron Man 3, so.
Yeah, but I mean that to me that's like it's a stacked house. You assume it's going to be good, and you're surprised when it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Iron Man 3 was going to be good, and that was a pile of shit. That wasn't very good. But yeah, Guardians is my number one. What you had as number 2?
Yeah, that's my number 2. So why don't you tell me your number 2, and then we'll go to my number 1.
My number 2. Let me open it up here. It's going to be very surprising.
Okay.
Very, very surprising. And this is another one that I was blown. I was tossing back and forth between 2 movies for number 2. The Lego Movie was the one that ended up not making it into my list. It's a 5.5. The Lego Movie. Edge of Tomorrow.
It's in my list of beat expectations.
That movie surpassed my expectations. First of all, didn't know it was an alien movie.
Yeah.
Watching that was one of the movies. I saw the first trailer. I was like, oh, this looks like this could be good. And then every fucking show I watched, like every commercial break, there was a trailer for Edge of Tomorrow. And I was like, I don't even want to fucking see this movie anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm done.
You mean Live, Die, Repeat?
Yeah. Oh, it was fucking terrible. But it was all repeat. Same fucking trailer. Same trailer. My uncle bought it, and he said, "Oh, it was really good, surprisingly really good." And that's what I had been reading, that it was, people were really surprised how good it was. I fucking put that movie on, and for 2 hours, I was just taken away to all the best parts of District 9, to all the best parts of Starship Troopers and Star Wars. I mean, it was fucking amazing. It was absolutely incredible. Tom Cruise, back in very good Tom Cruise form. I'm a Tom Cruise guy. Emily Blunt, didn't buy her as a badass action star. Totally do after this movie.
She's all right.
Her fucking arms were incredible. I wanted her arms. They were fucking incredible. Bill Paxton was really funny in the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. It was Groundhog Day meets District 9 meets Starship Troopers, and those are all. I mean, Starship Troopers, I guess, is a guilty pleasure.
I said before, I'm a sucker for movies that that all happen in one place. Mm-hmm. I'm a bigger sucker for movies that repeat the day.
Yeah,
that repeat the same time over and over. Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
There's a movie. It's actually called Repeaters.
I think I've heard of that. I don't know if
it's really good. It has Amanda Clark. She's from the movie Sex Drive. I think that's her name, Amanda Clark.
I've still not seen.
No, Amanda Duke. Clark Duke. No,
that's Clark Duke. That's
Clark Duke. Amanda, but I think her name is Amanda Clark.
2 girls equals 1 guy.
Yeah.
Sounds like predisposition.
But yeah, I'm a sucker for movies that do that. They're like drug addicts, and they like keep reliving the same day.
Oh, okay. I gotta check it out.
Rehab. Yeah, it's a cool movie. Definitely worth seeing.
But I mean, I was, like I said, like even now talking about it, I was really, really blown away by how much I liked it, and I mean by how good it was. I mean, it was a really good. I like sci-fi flicks. I like alien flicks. District 9, Pacific Rim, all of those. Those are probably my favorite types of movies. These fantasy stuff, and it was everything about that movie was right. There was nothing I found wrong with it. I wish I would have seen it on the big screen. It was nice getting to see it on Blu-ray because I mean it looks beautiful. It's fucking eye candy. But it was just, I mean, it's a really good story. Everything about that movie was really, really good. I was really surprised at how much I liked it. Good story. Tom Cruise was good. Emily Blunt was great. I have nothing bad to say about that movie. I thought the aliens looked really cool.
I need to rewatch it because, like I said, a lot of these movies I only saw once in theaters.
Yeah.
So I can't judge them. Well, I can only judge them on how I felt when I left.
That's what
God knows how I'll feel down the line.
I'm going off of a lot of these. I mean, minus Guardians. I think the only one that I've seen more than once was.
I saw Spider-Man 2 more than once.
That's the only one that I've seen more than once. Huh. Look at that. But that was good. That would be my number 2. That's how much I liked it. It moved up.
What was your number 3? I'm just surprised to see the movies that beat it.
My number 3 was The Hobbit.
You like Edge of Tomorrow more than Hobbit?
Yeah.
What was your number 4?
What did I say was my number 4? Can we go back to the tape? The Maze Runner.
You like Edge of Tomorrow more than Maze Runner?
I did.
What was your number 5?
Why are you making me go through this again? My number 5 was... Where is it? Guardians was 1. Hobbit, Maze Runner. What was the first movie I said?
Hell if I know.
Why? That's bad that we both don't remember. That's
what we
awful.
just talked about.
Everybody, listen to the show, but don't remember a fucking thing about. Where is it?
Why don't you know?
I don't remember.
You tell me my top 5.
I don't remember. Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. What the hell was my top 5?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Oh, wasn't it Snowpiercer?
Yeah, Snowpiercer. There it is. I'm looking at Chris Evans going, it was Snowpiercer.
You like Edge of Tomorrow more than Snowpiercer?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I did. I thought Edge of Tomorrow was it was original without being original. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
You know?
That's kind of how I thought about it.
And maybe I'm saying that because I haven't seen a movie like that in a really long time, and it's just there's so much shit. I mean, you have to admit it. We both watch a lot of movies, and I feel like 60-70% of the stuff we watch is fucking garbage. You know, when you find a movie like The Edge of Tomorrow, like The Maze Runner, I mean, that's why I love movies. You know what I mean? Because it takes one out of 10 is that they were just, it was really good. I was surprised, and I loved it. It was a very, very good movie. And Guardians is my number one.
Okay. My number one is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Really?
That movie.
You like that better than Guardians?
Yeah.
What was your number 3? Oh, you got it fucking written down. Son of a bitch.
Number 3 was Birdman. Number 4 was Nightcrawler. Number 5
He's got it
was
written
John
down
Wick.
and he started.
Well, no, because the list is all, it's just listed. It's not in order.
That was very good. I enjoyed that.
I was
movie.
lucky enough to see it at Regal do a double feature. I got to see Rise and Dawn back to back.
At the movie theater.
At the movie theater.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I don't know if that added to the experience of it, but...
How'd you like the first one?
Oh, I saw it before that.
You had?
Yeah. I watched it. Because I hadn't. We talked about it, and then I watched it. Because we had talked about it. And then I watched it again, and I liked it even more, and then I saw that, and I was like, well, fuck it. Like, if I can watch it again the night of.
It was good.
And I got to see it like 2 hours before the midnight premiere. So I got to...
it was like a 10 o'clock show?
Yeah, so I got to get out earlier than everybody else.
So awesome. You got to see... That's what we should have did for fucking...
Spider-Man?
Yeah, that was awful.
I don't really have much to say about it, though, now.
It was good. See you next episode.
It takes place... You know Rise.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you saw the film.
Yeah, yeah.
But...
The monkeys are in control.
Yeah, it takes place... At the end of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, spoiler alert.
It's like I feel like it's like way after
Rise.
Yeah,
there is an outbreak of a disease that monkeys are immune to, or apes are immune to, and then they find out that there's a group of humans who are immune also. So years into the future, after this is decimated the entire human race, other than this little town in San Francisco, who are ran by Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, Gary Oldman.
And then you got to get to see this power struggle taking place between the apes.
Yeah, with Koba and
because these
Caesar.
humans come in and they need to get access to the apes' land. So some of the apes find that as weakness, allowing them to do that.
They got to turn the electricity on, right? Get those big generators going.
Yeah, so then, there's a power struggle between Caesar and some of the other apes.
Koba was a fucking bad dude, man.
And the way this movie climaxes, we can't say climax.
Quickly and unfulfilling.
The way it builds up, and you see this struggle for power between Koba and Caesar, and you see this divide that takes place because Caesar also has a son now.
Yeah.
And he doesn't understand that, what Caesar's doing is better for the long run versus what Koba wants, which is better for now.
Yeah.
And it's a great movie.
Yeah, very good. Looks amazing.
You want to talk about digital effects?
Fucking Weta is incredible. Everything they do from the Lord of the Rings movies.
And just the trailer. Remember that when you first saw Caesar's face with the paint
with the
on
rain and stuff. They do some job. And Andy Serkis, I know everybody talks about him, but that guy is a special kind of genius. That he can do these characters and bring this life to these. To nothing, really. I mean, he's in a fucking suit with balls on his face.
And what I loved so much about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes versus Rise of the Planet of the Apes, it had a completely different feel. They were able to capture a different feel in a sequel to a movie, yet also let it feel like a sequel.
Like it's the same movie.
It's the same world. You're living in the same world from before, but with just some coloring, and like it wasn't sunshine anymore.
No, it was dark.
So you kind of it put you in a different spot.
I'm looking forward to the third one.
Oh my god!
Because it looks like those ships are rolling in.
They said there's an alternate ending on the Blu-ray where you see that speech he gives in their town hall or whatever.
Yeah.
It actually is supposed to take place on the bridge, where he talks about like we're going to war, and then as he says that, you were supposed to see ships coming out of the fog, but they felt like that was too far into the next film, so they cut it early.
I'm fine with that. I was fine with that. I like the way it ended.
Yeah,
I like when it's like, okay, we're getting another one. This is what it's going to be.
Yeah, but apparently in the third one, that's how it's going to open.
Really good. It was a very, very good movie. Surprising it's at the top of your list.
And I really want the next one to be called War for Planet of the Apes.
That'd be cool. So what were the movies that you were I guess pleasantly surprised by?
Well, first let me talk about some ones that just didn't quite make the list.
Mm-hmm.
Foxcatcher.
Yeah, I'm
originally on my list. I took it off as we were talking.
Really? What took its place?
I think I like Nightcrawler better than Foxcatcher as a movie.
Okay.
I think Foxcatcher was on there because I liked Steve
Carell. Yeah.
Steve Carell's role as I can't remember his name.
Michael Scott. Brick Tamblyn.
He fucking nails it. I don't know if it's the nose that just put him in.
John DuPont.
John DuPont. I don't know if it just put him in a headspace for it, but like I've told you, I've watched The Office, seriously, the entire series.
It's good.
I'm going to say because I started watching when there's only 5. I've watched the entire series 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
I know Michael Scott.
Yeah.
So I know Steve Carell. And there's scenes in this movie where he's talking and I can oh, that's Steve Carell. He's just doing him.
You're waiting for him to say that's what she said?
Yeah, he's just doing him. So when a scene hits and I know he's acting,
you can see that he's acting and it's not.
No, it's not bad.
Okay.
I think because I know him so well, when I see him act, I'm like, look at him fucking go.
Yeah.
It puts me there.
How was Channing Tatum? Because I'm surprised
Incredible.
He didn't get any nominations. Mark Ruffalo and Carell were the ones that got nominated.
Mark Ruffalo got nominated?
Yeah, for Golden Globe.
That's bullshit.
Huh. Oh, he's no good?
He's not a main character. He's not even a side character.
Really?
He's not even
he's supporting?
Yeah, he's in it at the beginning. He has some phone calls with Channing Tatum, and then he's in it at the end.
Huh.
That's it. But Channing Tatum, my problem with Channing Tatum is he takes me out of movies. There's something about him that I'm
he's a fucking meathead.
I'm like, that's Channing Tatum. I can't get into this.
Was he like that in this movie too?
At first. At first, cause I was like, it's Channing Tatum, but I got lost in it.
That's good. It's a sign of a good movie.
Yeah. I got lost in him because the first half hour of the movie is just him.
Yeah.
And it's like him dealing with, he won this Olympic gold medal and now nobody cares. It's been 3 years since he did that. And he's just some fucking guy who has a shitty apartment. And nobody
just
cares.
Happens to have a gold medal.
Nobody cares. Yeah, he just happens to have a gold medal. And then there's John DuPont, who flies him to Pennsylvania to tell him how he's a gladiator and how the world needs to cherish him. And, he's a hero for America, and just puts him up on this pedestal and tells him how great and amazing he is. And how if he comes to Foxcatcher Farms, that he's going to take care of him and put him up and let him do nothing but train and bring home a gold medal to Foxcatcher Farms.
And he's weird infatuated. I know a little bit of the story. I've read about it. It's a true story.
True story.
But I'm dying to see that movie.
I
didn't realize that was playing all over. The last commercial I saw, I thought it said limited release.
Yeah, he's a weird guy, but
that voice that he does.
Apparently, he talks just like him.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't think I've ever heard the real John DuPont talk, but it looks fantastic.
It is.
It looks like an Oscar movie. It looks like one of those.
And I want him to win it. Steve Carell, when's he going to get another chance?
After this movie, it might open up some more avenues. You never know.
It's true, but it's for me.
Look at Jim Carrey. I know I'm maybe not. You don't like those movies, but The Truman Show was very different than what he normally did.
I love Truman Show.
I love Truman Show. I mean, I didn't like The Majestic, but I mean that's another movie that's that's all serious, totally opposite of what he had been doing.
I I want either Steve Carell for Foxcatcher or Michael Keaton for Birdman.
How was J.K. Simmons? You said you saw Whiplash.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Those are my top 3.
Am I blowing your...
Yeah, no, that's my next. That was the next thing. That was also on my top movies. It's an incredible movie about a kid who is going to music school, and he's in one class, and he knows he wants to be a great drummer. Mm-hmm. He doesn't just want to be any drummer. He wants to be the best drummer.
The drummer.
Yeah. And he knows that if he gets into this class taught by J.K. Simmons, that he will push him to the point where he needs to be. One day, luck has it, he meets him. J.K. Simmons takes a liking to him a little bit. He still fucks with him, but he takes a liking to him and invites him into his class to play backup drums. Or to be, kind of like the understudy.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of the mental toll someone will put themselves through to be great.
Mm-hmm. I heard it's a very cerebral performance by J.K. Simmons.
I was watching a review, and he described it in a way that was perfect for me. He was just like the guy from Full Metal Jacket.
R. Lee Ermey, okay.
Pretty much the same guy.
Huh. That's interesting.
And like it,
I don't know how much. That's the best part of Full Metal Jacket.
I don't know how much of it was ad lib, but he yells like just like that.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. He's dropping like the faggot bomb and just like
telling
them they have small dicks. I just watched the
trailer for it for the first time the other day. Like I just had been reading about it, and I was like, "You want to watch the trailer?" And I put it on through the phone, and I was like, "This looks really good." I'm understanding through the trailer why he's getting so much buzz. I think he's nominated for a Golden Globe. J.K. Simmons, really?
Yeah, apparently he's a supporting actor.
Miles Teller
Teller is the lead.
Really? Huh. Very interesting.
But now also seeing that, I'm like, you know what? Maybe it can be Reed Richards.
Yeah. Oh, that's who's playing Mr. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
No shit. The only thing I think I've seen him in was
that awkward movie.
Yeah,
which I like him in.
Yeah, he's good. The movie was alright.
I mean, it is what it is.
It's a male romantic comedy, which I don't think I can't think of one that I've seen before that. But it was alright.
I enjoy it. Okay. You want to go? What beat expectations?
Yeah. What were you surprised with? Is it my turn? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if you have one,
you're gonna be surprised. These are 2 sequels.
Okay, because I just did 2. I did Whiplash and Foxcatcher. So.
Well, I mean, like I said, the Lego Movie was probably would have been 5.5.
Which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, it was cute. Had a lot of heart.
My problem with that movie, and it showed in the box office, was that they made it for kids. They didn't expect the audience that went to see it is the audience that saw it.
Yeah.
So, I think the next one is going to be better because it's going to be more towards adults. But the ending, when you find out the whole thing,
that was so sweet. It was just this kid wants to play with his dad. I was like, what? I was like, wow, this got really fucking heavy. I was like, I wasn't expecting that at all.
I wasn't like this kid's little world, and I was like, that was a brilliant ending.
Really, really sweet.
That was a brilliant ending to a movie that didn't need to have a brilliant ending.
I didn't realize that was all CGI.
The entire movie?
The entire movie was CGI, not one fucking Lego. I was like, that's surprising. Did a hell of a job. I would have never known. They did a really good job.
Kind of like you want them to build something.
Yeah. Well, the 2 movies that I have that came to mind as far as beating expectations are 2. We have the normal. Captain America was in there. Those were all an X-Men. They were all really good.
X-Men Godzilla really beat fucking.
Yeah, that beat expectations big time, and so did Godzilla too, for that matter. Mm-hmm. But we reviewed those movies. We touched upon them. Oh. 300, Rise of an Empire.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna really.
Sin City.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I wasn't.
Isn't Eva Green in both of them?
Yes, she is, and she's naked a lot in both of them. And she gets pounded out in fucking 300. It's she's like naked in like 80% of the scenes she's in 300. I was like, what is this? I looked over to my uncle at one point. I said, is she gonna put a shirt on? Like,
I'm sick of seeing it at this point.
And you know what else? There's another movie. I have another movie. I really like 300. I wasn't expecting it. That's a movie that's turned into Scarface for me. Because the first time I saw it, I was like, wow, the first 300. Really, really enjoyed it. And then a certain culture of people took it and made it their own, and it made me not fucking like the movie anymore. But it's a really good movie, especially for when it came out, and visually what it is, it's incredible. It's just like the other one. I mean, it looks just like the other
you're
one.
Talking about?
Yeah,
yeah. 300 was fucking ruined
incredible.
For me.
Yeah, because of the fucking stupid ass meatheads that fucking took the movie. It's like, oh, we are Sparta. No, you're not. You're a fucking moron.
Yeah, that came out when I was still in high school.
Yeah. But I was pleasantly surprised by that movie, and the same thing with Sin City. I really liked Sin City.
I don't know why I didn't go see that.
I mean, I really liked. If you liked the first one,
I just watched it actually.
Did you like the first one?
Yeah,
I know that's one of those movies. I was like, you gotta watch. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
I made a day of all the movies I should have watched. I think I did. I think I watched Rise of Planet of the Apes and Sin City like the same day. But I watched it. I have the Blu-ray, and they have it in
the chronological order.
Yeah,
yeah, that's the way to watch it.
But it fucking threw. No. Did I watch it? I watched it in sections, not in chronological.
Yeah. That's the other thing. There was a big box set that came out on DVD, and they just converted it to Blu-ray.
And like I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
So I watched it in the way it wasn't shown, like the director's cut.
Yeah.
So I want to rewatch it in the director's cut because I assume that's chronological.
Yeah. Well, it jumps a bit, but it's more.
Because I watched it was like the Yellow Man, the thing.
Yeah, it's more of a story. It flows a lot more smoothly. Yeah. But I was just really, really surprised. A movie that I thought was like, because I really like the first Sin City. I like that movie a lot. And
my favorite part of Sin City is where the guy, he's trying to sneak out past his mother. He's like that big fucking tough guy, and he's like just tiptoeing through the thing.
It's a good, and that's another one that's visually is fucking incredible.
It's directed by Frank Miller.
Yeah.
Who, he's actually a comic book writer.
Yeah.
And so he took his vision of the book and adapted it to screen.
I forgot the movie I was going to say.
He is the guy who wrote the book The Dark Knight Returns, which is going to be based
Didn't
Superman.
He write Sin City?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like the comic book too as well, yeah.
Or he might have wrote and drew.
I know him and Robert Rodriguez, like they're like double billed as the directors. But I think Robert Rodriguez was more of
hands-on
money. No, I think he was more. Yeah, I think he was more of the backer for that movie. The first one, he might have been more hands-on.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know about.
I was really pleasantly surprised by that movie, and I'm pissed off that I don't remember. I said there's a third one, and I didn't.
It's okay. I have a list, so we'll see if it's
maybe it's on there.
I'm gonna start. Let's go down. Start with like the stuff that people might not have seen. Deliver Us from Evil.
I wanted to see that.
It's as far as Exorcist, I've grown sick of ghost movies, Exorcist movies, supernatural movies. I'm just sick of it.
They're too cookie cutter.
I've never really liked them to begin with. So like now that the world's just flooded with them, it's
as above, so below.
My friend, that's what I was having a discussion last night. Apparently, it's really good.
See, I've heard very mixed things about it.
My friend who hated Tusk.
I'm probably not gonna like As Above, So Below.
He told me to watch it. He's like, "Fucking go get it." I'm telling you.
It's in the red box. So is Deliver Us from Evil.
Deliver Us from Evil. Check it out. Eric Bana, not a big fan.
Really? Have you seen Troy?
No.
Watch Troy.
Okay. I'm not gonna watch Troy.
Why?
Because I don't like those kind of movies.
It's so good. It's better than Gladiator.
I've never seen Gladiator.
You're not missing anything there. You seen Braveheart?
I've never seen Braveheart.
You've never seen Braveheart?
No, I told you that when we did our top list.
Braveheart's fucking great.
Watch
Braveheart first.
Now that you've seen The Office, the prima nocta line.
Oh, that's hysterical. That was hysterical. When I saw that, I was like, wait, what? Because it like catches you off guard, you know? I was like, what?
He's
and
like,
I like Jim. I think he saw Braveheart last night, and he doesn't quite understand what prima nocta means.
According to Wikipedia, prima nocta means... And then it just cuts to him, and he goes, I'm so very sorry. I fucking love The Office.
Such a good show.
We'll get back to that on Tiny Talks.
Yeah, we got to get to
our gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
Deliver Us from Evil. It's about like this cop, and he's.
It's like one of those, like the girl, they don't know if she is or she isn't, right?
No. It's about this cop.
Oh.
It has nothing. Are you talking about like his family? It has nothing to do with his family.
No, like isn't there someone who's possessed supposedly?
Well, there's somebody they arrest because she was doing weird things at a zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I could go a lot of weird. It sounds like the premise of a really bad porno.
But then he's doing all this investigating of these different things, and they're kind of connected. And then he runs into a guy who, like, he was a priest, but then he got addicted to heroin and started having sex. And then, like...
Isn't Joel McHale in the movie, too?
Joel McHale, yeah!
The guy from The Soup.
I think he's his sidekick. He's fucking ripped.
Is he really?
He got fucking ripped. Yeah, and
like Chris Pratt ripped.
Well, I mean, he wears a fucking bulletproof vest like the whole movie. He's just like fucking a backwards Yankee cap. He's like, yeah, let's go do this. Like, he's just fucking meathead. But yeah, it's a good movie about an exorcism. That's the best thing I can say about it without giving everything away.
I wish Kristen liked horror movies more. Like it's very hard getting her to watch something.
The next one is Begin Again.
Begin Again. I don't think I've even heard of it.
It's Keira Knightley. Is it Keira Knightley? Or is it the other girl that I always mix up with Keira Knightley? I think it's Keira Knightley and Mark Ruffalo.
Okay.
Mark Ruffalo is a music producer who gets fired. He's drunk, so he gets fired from the record label that he started. He goes to a bar to get drunk, and she's there playing songs, and he hears her playing, and he's like putting the music together in his head, and he's like, this girl has it. Okay? But she is actually dating Adam Levine, who's like he's an up and coming like pop, like he has a record, like a real record label and all this stuff, and he like steals her song.
Cool clothing line.
Yeah, and he like steals her song and like rewrites it so it's kind of shitty.
Can't stand that guy.
And then like so she leaves him, and then they're putting together songs. It's like a cool movie.
I never even heard of it.
If you saw the trailer, you'd be like, yes. And plus, Mark Ruffalo.
I like Mark Ruffalo.
He's just been in everything lately, and he's incredible.
There's one movie I didn't like. I didn't really like him in. It was a movie that I really fucking hate. It's Shutter Island. I hated him in that movie.
He's awesome.
Yeah, okay. He's good. Not in that movie.
Oh, my list was also Edge of Tomorrow. We don't have to talk about that. We already did. I don't have numbers on them. The Drop. Did you see that?
No, I wanted to see that.
That's a good.
I really wanted to see that.
It has stars Tom Hardy and
Gandolfini.
James Gandolfini. It's about these bars where people, crime bosses, drop off money so they can kind of like hide it throughout the night.
Yeah, it's like a holding station.
Yeah, a holding station for their money. And they kind of like own the bars, or at least they own the owners.
Yeah.
So, and he works for them as a bartender, and then you find out throughout the movie that like James Gandolfini used to be like a big player in town.
Yeah, I kind of got that from the trailer.
Until the bigger guys came in, and the whole movie he just keeps telling them, he's like, look, they pulled their hand, you flinched, you got to live with it now. Yeah. Like they said, there's
nothing you can do.
He didn't stand up to him. So many years ago, you can't do it now.
Now you're fucked.
Yeah, you just got to live with it. But James Gandolfini doesn't want to.
I'm dying to see that movie.
It's really good.
This is terrible. Like, let's do a movie podcast. I haven't seen anything that you're talking about.
I know, but I haven't seen a lot of things you talked about either.
That is true. I feel like this is very strange. Like, even like when we do all our top 10s and stuff, I feel like we've seen them. We may have differing opinions, but we have at least seen them. That's cool. We have homework now.
The number one movie for me that was like beat expectations was Neighbors.
Yeah, see, we watched that not too long ago, and I thought it was okay. It had a lot more heart, sweeter than I thought it was gonna be.
The fucking relationship between Zac Efron and Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
I loved.
Because the chemistry between them, like as actors, or
like the chemistry between them when they're having like their little Batman talk. He's like, when you close your eyes and think of Batman, who do you see? He's like, Michael Keaton. Who do you see? He's like, Christian Bale. See, that's so weird. Like that just that weird conversation. And like they like each other. And then he's going through this shit where he doesn't want to leave college, and they just kind of do one thing that pisses him off, but he still likes him.
Yeah, he respects him.
Yeah, and then by the end of the movie, like when he's working at Aeropostale or Abercrombie and Fitch, he has his shirt off, and they like stop and talk to each other. Like, what a sweet moment.
Yeah,
what a great. Like,
it wasn't. I mean, I liked that a lot better than I liked Sex Tape, and I thought it was going to be flip flopped.
Yeah,
Sex Tape, I was disappointed with, but yeah, I mean, Neighbors was good. It wasn't anywhere near a list for me, but that's fine.
And he goes, "What do college kids get in trouble for most? Rape."
Well, I guess that's that, right? That'll wrap up.
That's all the movies on my list.
It's our best and worst. Well, our best this time is of 2014.
We should do one like halfway through the year, like see how our list stacks up.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
If we rewatch them, how we feel.
All right, well, everybody, listen. At BSST Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, look us up. Big Screen Small Talk. iTunes, Big Screen Small Talk. We're everywhere. iTunes, we're working on it. So there's only a couple episodes up on iTunes, but we're figuring that out. And I think I speak for you when I say there's plenty more to come this year.
Correct.
We're
going to try harder. We know there was a gap, but life happens.
Yeah. But we're getting back on track. Hopefully there's a lot of big things to come out of Big Screen Small Talk. So with that being said, I'm Anthony Matola.
I'm Ryan Waltz.
We'll see you when we see you.